if we are disturbing truth, if we are manipulating truth, weaponizing truth today, what's that going to do to our ability to learn from when today becomes history, to learn from history?
Let's be honest. There has been the use of propaganda
Going way before Facebook.
Way before us. Obviously, Goebbels felt if you had control of the radio network, you had control of people's minds. And it could be that Facebook is just the new radio network, right? So, we've always had to wrestle with this as a society. It's just, we also had a kind of centralized source of truth. In the US, when I was growing up, it was the 3 evening television news shows. And Walter Cronkite would come on there and he would tell
ABC,
you,
NBC,
that's
and
the way
CBS.
it is.
Right.
That's the way he would end. That's the way it is. And pretty much was. It was the accepted version of the truth presented to everybody. And right and left all saw the same stuff.
Because facts are facts.
Yeah, and it was based on the unacknowledged facts of the existence. That does not exist anymore. There is no hearth side in which everybody gathers around every night to understand what went on that day. That's missing, obviously. Now, can we go back to that? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any way we can get back to it.
So in this world where social media is claiming that it's, and it does connect, we are still missing this common gathering around a common story, gathering around a common set of facts. CNN is trying to get it back. You may have seen this advertisement with the apple. And it says, this is an apple, and you can look at it from the left or the right, politically or otherwise. You can call it a banana. You can even believe it's a banana, but it's still an apple. So, we see Christiane Amanpour saying, I'm not worried about neutrality. I'm worried about truth.
Okay, but let's be clear. In the United States, on any given night, the CNN broadcast is reaching 2 million people.
Exactly.
And the MSNBC broadcast is reaching 2 million people, and the Fox News broadcast is reaching 2 million people. So it's
not the common conversation.
It's not the common conversation. It's not the fact that Walter Cronkite reached 20 million people a night, and that was the common conversation. We don't have that anymore, and because the news media is getting more and more and more fractured, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
So on that, how do we have this broader societal conversation about, in particular, the ethical implications of technology and truth that I've been advocating? How do we go about making this happen?
It's really hard. I mean, perhaps the only way it can work is start at some kind of very local level.
Okay.
In other words, you say, okay, in my town, we're going to try and get people in the same physical space, and we're going to try, it's the old Vermont town hall meeting, right? We're going to try and, in this town, figure out what we think should happen. And maybe then we feel kind of empowered in a sense of, okay, we all got together and we argued about this, and we decided this is what we should do about putting a stoplight on the street or something like that, I mean, it seems to me that some kind of localism is maybe the only way where we can start these conversations.
Very interesting point.
Because the basic problem is that it's almost impossible to have a national conversation. I don't even think in the UK you can have a national conversation. And I know in the United States you can't.
You can't, right.
It's split into two worlds, and they have no common frame of reference of either right or left. And so, but maybe in Pacific Palisades, California, I can have a conversation. I know there's a bunch of people there who are Republicans, a bunch of people there are Democrats, but I bet you we could come together because I saw it.
They're all really concerned about what driverless cars are going to do.
Well,
and they're all really concerned about.
In my town, this guy wanted to come in and put a little shopping center there. His name was Rick Caruso, and he came and he had 3 town hall meetings in the school gymnasium, and everybody came out, and we all agreed what it should be, how big it could be, and that was it. And it worked. So, I mean, I don't think this is impossible.
I think that's a really interesting suggestion, which is to bring it back to human connection.